Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about Introduction to Euclid's Geometry, Chapter 5. Especially Euclid is known as father of geometry. The word geometry originated from Egypt, geometrin, which means earth to measure. Geometry originated in Egypt as an art of earth measurement. Euclid is called the father of geometry. The first Egyptian mathematician who initiated a new way of thinking the study of geometry introduced the method of proving a geometrical result by deductive reasoning based upon previously proved result and some self-evident specific assumptions called axioms. Euclid's definitions. Euclid has listed 23 definitions in Book 1 of the Elements. A few are: a point is that which has no part, a line is breadthless length, the ends of a line are points, a straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself, a surface is that which has length and breadth only, the edges of a surface are lines, a plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. And according to Euclid, point, line and plane are undefined terms. Euclid's axioms and postulates. Euclid assumed certain properties which are actually obviously universal truths and divided them into two types. Postulates, the assumptions specific to geometry. The axioms, the assumptions used throughout mathematics and not specific linked to geometry. Here listen. Axioms are the assumptions not only used for geometry, anywhere in science and mathematics. Whereas postulates are the assumptions specifically to geometry. Euclid's axioms, things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. That is, if A equal to C and B equal to C, then A equal to B. Here A, B and C are same kind of things. If equals are added to equals, the whole are equal. That is, if A equal to B and C equal to D, then A plus C equal to B plus D. Also, A equal to B, then this impels that A plus C equal to B plus C. If equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Same way, if A equal to B and C equal to D, then A minus C equal to B minus D. Things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. The whole is greater than the part. That is, if A is greater than B, then there exists C such that A equal to B plus C. Here B is a part of A and therefore A is greater than B. Things which are a double of the same things are equal to one another. The things are halves of the same things are equal to one another. Now we are going to discuss Euclid's 5 postulates. Postulate 1. A straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. Axiom, given two distinct points, there is a unique line that passes through them. Postulate 2. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. For example, AB is a terminated line. It can be produced both the sides. Postulate 3. A circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. And postulate 4. All right angles are equal to one another. Fifth postulate is very important. If a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of angles is less than two right angles. That is, now you can see in the picture, towards your left side, the sum of two angles is less than 180, then they intersect towards the left side. If both like left and right side, the sum of two interior angles are equal to 180, then they will be parallel, they will not intersect on either side. Euclid's theorems. According to Euclid, theorems are the proved statements. So you also 465 theorems in a logical chain using his axioms, postulates and definitions. So one of the theorem I am giving here, two distinct lines cannot have more than one point in common. As two straight lines, if they are not parallel, they will have only one common point between them. That common point is the intersecting point of both lines. So Euclid did not require his fifth postulate to prove his first 28 theorems, but he himself, including many mathematicians, were convinced that the fifth postulate is actually a theorem that can be proved using just the four postulates and other axioms. However, all attempts to prove the fifth postulate as a theorem have failed, and this led to a great achievement, the creation of several other geometries quite different from Euclid's geometry, called as non-Euclidean geometries. Example, spherical geometry, the geometry of the universal we live in. So you can see some of the achievements of Euclid. Euclid is best known for his treatise on mathematics. The Elements, his book, is one of the most influential works in the history of mathematics, serving as the main textbook for teaching math, especially geometry, from the time of its publication until the late 19th or early 20th century. The Elements is a mathematical and geometrical treatise consisting of 13 books written in Alexandria at around 300 BC. It is divided into 13 books which cover plane geometry, arithmetic and number theorem, irrational numbers and solid geometry such as definitions, propositions, theorems, constructions, the 5 postulates and mathematical proofs of the proportions. So earlier everyone had believed that Euclid was the only geometry and the world itself was Euclidean, a flat surface. But we know that the truth is we live in a world of non-Euclidean geometry called spherical geometry. Fact in Euclidean geometry fails when you go for a curved surfaces. You can see angle A plus angle B equal to 180 degrees even though the lines are intersecting at N. But basically we are in a spherical geometry, but when we are using geometry, most of the time we will take a plane surface only. That is the reason we are most using Euclidean geometry compared to another. You can have a cross puzzle.